I want to start by telling you a story. One day, a woman was walking along the street at night and she came across a man who was searching for something on the ground underneath a streetlight. She asked the man, "What are you looking for?" And he said, "I'm looking for my car keys. I lost them somewhere in the park." She asked him, "Well, if you lost your car keys in the park, why are you looking for them here in the street?" And he replied, "Because it's easier to look in the light." This story is a perfect metaphor for us as humans. Because when we look for answers, we always look for them in the light. But the answers are normally hidden in the darkness. When you're learning a language, you are acquiring grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation. But you are also acquiring something else. You are acquiring attitudes. Attitudes about how poor and rich people speak, about how uneducated and educated people speak, about how lazy and hard-working people speak, about who speaks correctly and who speaks incorrectly. And some of those attitudes live in the light, but a lot of them live in the dark. And we can reveal those dark attitudes by using the IAT test. This test shows the difference between what people say they believe and what they really believe. For example, if you ask people from the north of England how they feel about their own accent, they will tell you, "Yeah, it's good and correct and educated and clear and high status." But then when you look into the dark, you find that analysis of the participants' mean response latencies in the IAT study revealed a significant implicit bias in favor of Southern English speech, pointing to relatively stable and deeply embedded negative associations with forms of English spoken in the north of England. And if you make YouTube videos that tell people that they don't need to speak in a particular way to communicate, then you can also reveal those dark attitudes. You are encouraging mediocrity and cheating. You are part of the problem. That's not an accent, it's just sloppiness and/or ignorance. And mispronunciation is a consequence of bad education. Of course, you might say and pronounce words however you like to, and even be proud of it, but you'll sound stupid. But nobody is to be given trophies anymore. Medals for participation for everyone. Let's not praise effort, talent, or hard work. Let's set the bar so low that everybody is equally mediocre. That's why I need to tell you about this. This is Giotto di Bondone, an Italian painter and architect from the Middle Ages who created many spectacular works of art. Pope Benedict XI heard about the incredible work of Giotto and asked Giotto to create something special for him to demonstrate his skill. Giotto took out a piece of paper and a pencil and drew a perfect circle. At first, the Pope thought that Giotto was making fun of him, But then when he learned that he drew the circle with his bare hands, with no compass, the Pope realized the depth of the skill of Giotto. I have this tattoo to remind me of three things. The first one is that perfection is in simplicity. The second one is that perfection takes a lifetime of hard work. And the third thing is that perfection doesn't exist. Giotto's circle wasn't perfect. My tattoo isn't perfect. When you look closely at anything, you will always find imperfections. But we expect people who are learning a language to be perfect. We expect them to want to be perfect, and we expect them to be perfect now. This is a dark attitude. It's like expecting that everybody who goes for a run in the morning should be in the Olympics, or at least should want to be in the Olympics. But the truth is that in the entire world, the quantity of people who have the time and the motivation and the commitment to be in the Olympics could all fit in just one room. Would you call somebody stupid and lazy just because they're going for a run to keep fit and they're not trying to be in the Olympics? But unfortunately, because of those attitudes that we acquired in the dark about language, we are happy to call people stupid and lazy if they focus on communication and not perfection. It's difficult to understand just how much damage this attitude does. And how far does this attitude go?
In ordinary times, times of peace, I have great faith in the communication of ideas between thinking men. But today I am afraid the intellectual way to appeal to man is fast becoming of little avail, with broad force dominating so many millions' lives.
Was Albert Einstein stupid and lazy? No, he was just focused on communicating his ideas. So here's an attitude that I want to bring into the light. The only way to measure perfection in language is successful communication. There's an expression that says, those who plant dates will never harvest them, because a date palm takes about 80 years to bear fruit. One day, a young man was walking down the street and he saw a monk in his garden planting dates. The young man asked the monk, "Why are you planting dates if you know that you will never harvest them?" The monk smiled and he looked at the young man and said, "Young man, mind your own business. This is my garden and I'll plant whatever the I want." So next time there's a voice from the dark that asks you why your English isn't perfect, tell it, mind your own business. I'm communicating.